Welcome back to the Newcastle United training ground, where you rightly say I'm joined by the Newcastle head coach Eddie Howe ahead of Newcastle's trip to Everton tomorrow. Now, I've been off for the last 6 weeks on paternity leave. Eddie, what's been happening?
Not a lot, Keith. I don't think you've missed much.
I thought you were going to give me a bit more than that there.
Sorry, I can't remember what's happened.
Well, let's look back to last weekend, Manchester City. I know probably the start of the season is maybe being a little bit slower in terms of performances than you would like. Did you feel that was your Newcastle side back to their best?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was a good performance against, I think, the standard bearers really of the Premier League for the last few years. So I thought the energy was there, the quality was there, I think the mentality was there. So the challenge for us is then to find that consistently, and it's a big test against Everton.
Yeah. Can you put your finger on why maybe the start to the season has been a little bit slower than perhaps what we've seen from you in the last couple of years in terms of that identity and performance level? I
think it's just been a bit inconsistent. I don't think it's been consistently good or consistently bad. We've been mixed within the games. So it is finding that 95-minute performance really, and I thought against Manchester City it was there all the way through the game. I thought we were very competitive, but I think when you go away from home against any team in the Premier League, especially a ground as tough as Goodison is, then we're going to have to be together for the whole game.
Yeah, you only need to look back to last season when you went down there in December, when obviously you were beset by injuries and you had so many games to contend with. You lost 3-0 that day, and it shows that if you're not at your best, just what Everton can do, and obviously they picked up a good result last weekend as well.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough game. I think last year we played well in stages and then conceded 3 late goals. I thought it was a tight game for the majority of the match. But I think you have to do the basics right when you go there. We're going to have to be on our guard. We're going to have to be, as always, good with the ball. I think that's a good challenge for us. And hopefully the confidence will be there after 2 good positive results.
Yeah. When perhaps performances aren't as good as you would want, like we saw at the start of the season, and I know you won't want to hover on that too much, but it must please you when you see your team up there in the top part of the table, you're still picking up results. Does that show that the character is good behind the scenes?
Yeah, I think it does. I think there's a lot more to come. I think we're excited by what we can be when we click into gear. We're still missing some top players that can make a difference as well, especially at the top end of the pitch without our 2 recognised number 9s at the moment. So there are challenges and continue to be challenges, but that will be the case throughout the season. What we're looking for is the team to be clear in what we're trying to do.
From what you're saying there regarding your strikers, would that tell that Alexander Isak will miss the match tomorrow?
Yeah, he won't make the game tomorrow, but we hope he'll be back after the international break, and we hope the same with Callum. So potentially good news around the corner with those 2, and they're such important players for us.
Yeah, I remember when you signed Anthony Gordon and you said, look, one of the reasons we love him is he can play in a number of positions and he can play in that number 9 as well. Is that now his position? Has he got to ensure that he can do the job as well as we have seen from Wilson and Isak in recent seasons?
Yeah, he'll play it his own way. He'll play it slightly differently, and I think he did that really well against Manchester City. I mean, against Manchester City at the best of times you're not going to have the majority of possession, but when you do have it you've got to be effective, and I thought he was. Also thought his pressing game was very good for us. Certainly helped us in that area. But I think then on Tuesday night you saw the effectiveness of Will Asula, and I thought he did very well and showed his physical capability. So we've got 2 options there.
You know Anthony Gordon better than anyone, being his manager. Going back to Goodison Park, where of course it didn't end well for him, how do you think that will be playing over in his head? It's obviously not the first time he has been back, but with him set to potentially lead the line tomorrow, what will be going through his mind?
Well, I think because it's the third time he'll have been back there. I think hopefully with each time it gets slightly easier. Human beings, emotional occasion for him. I've got no doubt he will want to do well. We want to do well as a team. We just want him to play his normal game.
And it's on Monday marks 3 years since the takeover of the football club here. We can just see the training ground over your shoulder, and the place has had a refit since. Everything's looking a lot better, really good conditions for you guys to work in. So it's almost 3 years since you've been here as well. When you think of the project as a whole, how do you assess that? How do you sum it up?
Well, it's been an intense 3 years. I think everything here is intense because we feel the expectations and we feel the want from everybody connected to Newcastle to be successful. But I have to say, I think the owners have come in and had a dramatic effect on the football club, and all for the positive. I think they've really supported us. They've got big plans and big ambitions, but I think they understand also that it won't happen overnight and there's a process to get there. So can't praise them enough really for the impact they've had at this football club, and hopefully that continues for many, many years.
And you're normally the first one in the morning, 6 o'clock, first one in here at the training ground. No, you'll be hating the fact you told us that. I know how you feel. I know exactly how you feel. But what a place this is to come in and work every day, isn't it?
It is. It's inspiring. I think whenever you're working hard and you're intensely in your work, you're always thinking of the bigger picture and why you're doing it and what you're doing it for. And to represent the city of Newcastle and to represent the supporters here is an incredible honour.
Yeah, and just finally, we've spoken about the league. You've obviously had Newcastle in the Champions League, finished 4th, got to a cup final, Wembley. I know obviously that was really disappointing for you to miss out. You won through in the Carabao Cup midweek against AFC Wimbledon. You got Chelsea at home in the next round, another tough tie. But is that one of the key things here, just to try and bring silverware back to the football club and to these supporters who have been denied it for so long?
Yeah, definitely. That's the goal. That's what we're all chasing, and that's what drives us to work as hard as we do every day to bring not just sort of that short snippet of success. We want long-term success. But a trophy is definitely something that we have in our sights. It's the ultimate goal, and we'll try to do it to the best of our ability.
Thanks, Eddie. Just finally, before you go, just final word on injuries ahead of tomorrow. You said that Alexander Isak will be missing. Fabian Schär had a bit of a knock the other night. Is he okay after that?
He should be okay.
Yeah. Okay, Eddie, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate that. Nice to see you again after 6 weeks off. Eddie said to me, 6 weeks off, he said, have you been on holiday? Wish I'd been on holiday for that amount of time. But that's Eddie Howe as Newcastle gear up for a trip to Goodison tomorrow night. Sky Sports, where of course they play Everton, if I can get my words back in.
Well done. Holidays, what a holidays. Dad life, isn't it, Keith? Thank you.
I need one. Yeah. Cheers.
Brilliant. Great to hear from Keith and Eddie there. Right, Rory McIlroy has some catching up to do after the opening round of the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship.
McIlroy is 8 shots off the lead at the unique event held across 3 courses in Scotland, with the final round at St Andrews on Sunday.
Yeah, McIlroy played Carnoustie in 3 under par, but is some distance off leader Darren Fitchard, who shot 11 under at King's Ponds. Well, the Pro-Am aspect of the tournament saw Rory link up with his dad, Jerry, and it was McIlroy Sr. that stole the show with this at the 7th.
There's definitely room for improvement there for both of the McIlroys, but lovely to be out here with them. We've done this a few times before, and it's his 65th birthday on Saturday, so to be strolling around the old course with him on his 65th is going to be a pretty cool occasion. So, yeah, delighted to be out here with him. And hopefully we can make a few more birdies tomorrow.
Well, another interesting grouping saw Yasser Al Rumayyan, who is the governor of the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, also Newcastle United chairman. He backed Live Golf, of course. He was alongside PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan. So no doubt discussions continuing over the future of both tours. Well, it was a former Tottenham and Real Madrid forward, Gareth Bale, who is no stranger to the golf course, of course, and he was impressing as well at St Andrews.
Right, to the Championship now, and Sunderland welcome Leeds to the Stadium of Light tonight, live on Sky Sports, with one of the sides in line to end the game at the top of the league.
Massive game this in the Championship. Sunderland currently top after a really strong start to the season, but the visitors, who are one of the favourites to win promotion, will edge past them with a 2-goal victory or more tonight.
We have a side who is capable to achieve something, and we have potential and a good group, and I believe in this group, and I think once we work with this group and can develop them, we can be also right there in the mix, and this is also why I came there. I want to be there in the mix and want to promote with this club back to the Premier League, but it would be unfair to give us the label as a big favourite. So that's